Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the 932nd day of continuous and uninterrupted Zoom session of IFPH. So we can start our today's session with a silent prayer for 1 minute. Thank you. Today, our guest is Dr. A.S. BANU PRAKASH, MS, MCH, NSP, Obstetrics, BNI, USA, neurosurgeon, brain, spine, nerve, karma, preventive holistic, eco-effective, Satyuga, has completed surgical training at PGI, Chandigarh, did observership at Barrow Neurosurgical Institute in skull base, vascular, pediatric, functional, DBS, VNS, spine. He even visited City of Hope, where research work is being done in nanomedicine for brain tumors and robotic surgery. Done extensive neurosurgery like vascular aneurysm clipping, AVM excision, then trauma, pediatric onco, skull base, CVJ, spine infections, microsurgical functions, stereotactic endoscopic, epilepsy surgeries. So a lot of descriptions, hundreds of descriptions are there. And he's worked in Apollo Narayana Hridayalaya. Teaching experience also there, has been teaching MCH, DNB, neurosurgery, MS students at various medical college, government and private college hospitals. The topic looks quite interesting and important one: heaven, human, love, and let love. The new world order, a healthcare provider perspective. So that is also important, and we must meditate and reflect on what about the topic. It's quite interesting. We all know that Dr. BANU PRAKASH has presented a lot of topics, very interested on this platform. On behalf of IFPH, and welcome Dr. BANU PRAKASH. You can have the platform for the next 45 minutes. It's over to you. Please proceed, Doctor.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
1 second. I'll just connect my.
Okay. No,
sorry for the.
Yes.
Sorry for the glitches. I was traveling somewhere, and okay, sir. Thanks a lot for inviting me again. I was thinking that I bored you guys enough with my perspectives, but it's good to know that somebody is what do you say, interested in my perspective, and I hope at least there is some truth in it, because many a times when we say that, because there's a lot of opposition from in the society for what I speak, because that goes against the interest of many people. And when that happens, many start having what we have understood. Is it the right thing, or do I have any false information? I mean, is my information false? Is my information biased? So when we get a doubt that maybe I am biased because of some perspectives, then I lose my confidence in speaking some things. So, but gradually, every other new variable which adds on to the perspective should make me more wholesome, because nobody is perfect, and we can't be sure of the 100% variables of all the issues at all times. But progressively, what we understand and what we know should be the truth, and not just a bias of somebody's perspective. So with that aspect, see how biases can creep in. I was trying to just check if had I made a mistake in sending this thing or message, or was it a communication mismatch? Because I had sent it as heavenly humans, but it has become heaven human. So maybe the understanding differs a bit in what I think of and what I write, and yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. No, it's actually first I had written the topic correctly, but second time when I typed it, I think when I copied and pasted, I only may have made a mistake. It's not Danisha's problem. So I just wanted to, I was checking that, and then definitely even I can make a mistake. I will start with the disclaimer that whatever I say is the 100% truth to the present second. If I get any new information which is contradicting to it, or which is modifying my information, uh, making it portray as a bias of the true bias, then probably uh, I request your forgiveness first time, and at the outset itself. But at the same time, probably maybe you can come back to me with your doubts and with your perspectives, and get to know about the latest updates at any point of time. That assurance I can give you, because if something what I have perceived is the wrong thing, then I am very much it becomes my responsibility to confess my bias, and also tell you the truth, what I have perceived as the what I have perceived as the latest truth. So with that disclaimer, I would like to say that definitely the topic should have been heavenly humans, because all the previous topics of COVID and the health bills, what I have spoken, I have spoken with a little bit of frustration. I mean, a lot of frustration. Not, let me be truthful. A little bit of inability to stop it. A little bit of confusion how to counter it. Uh, mm, Loss of belief in the it would be better to use the same money to give the information to people in the form of pamphlets, or in the form of talks, or videos, and ensure that people are safe at the outset, rather than me waiting for the judiciary to come with a judgment for preventing things. So with these perspectives, I have been working off late, and definitely what topic, what was, when sir asked for what could be the topic, I felt maybe the fighting spirit in us has created some amount of unrest, because personally I could see some damages in my health. My sugars were fluctuating, my BP was fluctuating, and I went through a lot of difficulties in my personal life, and also the relationships and other things. So then I started to introspect and apply the principles of my understanding of life and healthcare. And when I came up with that, then I felt, okay, these are the biases which I have to overcome, and I have refined my perspectives. So the bias is that, let me not get frustrated first. Let us not get frustrated. Even if they say only an allopath has to certify everything, as homeopaths, you should not get frustrated. Even if they say only a preventive medicine person and a social medicine person has to decide about the social medical aspects, as a neurosurgeon, I'll continue to speak what I feel as the right thing, because it is the intention that is important. I never intended to misdirect anybody. I never intended to create a false impression. I wanted the truth of what do you say, uh, the fear and the negativity. uh, I wanted to create awareness to it. So whatever I have said are, they still are the truths, but the truths, whatever I had said in the previous two meetings, are still the truths. But those truths I should be telling without getting frustrated, without my BP going up, without my sugar going up, and without my health having issues, and without my family suffering because of the what do you say, the pressures from outside. Because when I came to the COVID aspect, when I started speaking about against the killer injections, there was a lot of pressure on my parents, my sister. My sister, she's a dermatologist. I signed the exemption certificate and gave it online. I had an idea. I should have printed it and distributed in my locality and my area. But she, um, I mean, said, no, you can't do that. You can't give a digital signature and print it out and distribute. You can be taken to the court. You can be sued and all those things. So somewhere my insecurity stopped me from doing that. So we should be sure enough to fight for the uh, truth and to fight for the goodness of others, the well-being of others, irrespective of possible risk or a fear of some risk which is being projected by others. So how will we grow beyond that? So now I realize, okay, now it is the election time in Karnataka. Had I done that in one particular locality, I could have contested from that locality, from that assembly constituency. So this is what is the repercussions, the karma of me not being proactive, be not uh, doing the right thing in a focal way also. See, we do it in a general way. Maybe as a forum, as a homeopathy association, you're discussing here. But as an individual practitioner, how much of emphasis are you giving? How much of awareness are you creating? So there lies our own confusions and our own dilemmas and our own insecurities. So heavenly humans is a concept. I mean, I used to say what was it called? Let us start the Satya Yoga. Let us be truthful. So beyond the truth, I mean, we are truthful. We are speaking the truth here in against the so-called COVID killings and the so-called new world order which they have created. So, can we create a heaven on earth? Can we be the heavenly humans? That is the question, and definitely we can be. Will be the answer by the end of this talk, I suppose. So, how can we be? Is the process here? The process is my journey over the past few months. What I have realized, I want to share that to you as a doctor, as a fellow doctor, as a fellow human being. I went through a lot of difficulty. I went through I had told you previously, I think the inquiry by the Karnataka Medical Council, because the BBMP commissioner had complained to them, and then they had uh, told they called me for an inquiry. Why have you given such a video? Why are you saying such harsh words? Maybe I intentionally or subconsciously omitted that I use some swearing words like bastard and other things in the videos. But I intentionally said it because I felt they are without control or guidance from their parents. So essentially, they are bastards. That's my heartfelt feeling. But I feared saying it out. So today, I'm confident that what I've done is the right thing. What I did was the right thing. But previously, I was not confident to defend it. Now I'm confident to defend it. There lies the difference between what I can say and what I can do and how comfortable I am with what I do. Because many a times you might find somebody who comes with who has been taking allopathic medicines and then comes to you. How do you deal with it? Will you say that allopathy is bullshit? Allopathy is, no, you shouldn't have taken that. Or would you, or if somebody says, I'll continue allopathic medicines, I want homeopathy also as a supplement or as a add-on medicine, how comfortable are you? So, I mean, these are some of the dilemmic situations which everybody has to go through. I went through many a times because initially I was egoistic about allopathy. I used to say, don't take Ayurveda, don't take other medicines. No, I mean, they might not work. They work only in the long term. They're not effective in but now when I realize that if you have an heart attack, maybe just if it is a mild one and if you just do some meditation, calm your mind, probably our own body thrombolysis mechanism gets activated and cleans it up. Maybe that is what is the process of transient ischemic attack, or wherein we have a stroke like thing or reversible ischemic neurological disease, RIND, what we call. So let us be inclusive of everything. So that inclusivity and the magnanimity was transient when I released the video called Live and Let Live in my Twitter, which I shared to Danisa. That was way back around 6 months ago, but that was a transient phenomena in me, wherein I would say that, okay, if at all Bill Gates wants compassion, wants attention, he's something like a grown-up attention deficit hyperactivity disorder patient. So now, if he needs it, let us give him. But at the same time, when we give him attention, we also give him compassion. We also make him compassionate to others, because now, the crime of what Bill Gates has done has not started by him. It has started in his grandmother, who said Africans are like weeds among humanity. We should exterminate them. Imagine how generations of corruption of mindset and generations of hatred or genocidal concepts persist and propagate. So this is, how do we treat that? There comes the phenomenon of the beauty of the African way of life, what we call Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a concept wherein it says that I am what I am because we are what we are. So because of all of us, what we are, all of us. So there lies the concept of uh, the society molding us. So definitely for all the negativities and the positivities in each of us, it is a communal responsibility. So let us create a communal change for the betterment, of everybody. Okay, Bill Gates came to Bangalore. I was so frustrated. Okay, I didn't get to know where he was. I wish I could have gone and confronted him. There's a journalist who has confronted him, and he walked out of that interview. So he's of that mentality. So if he's of that mentality, maybe even me going there would have created more hatred for me in him, and some political and legal backlash, police backlash for me also in my life. So that initial frustration was set to peace by this thought that, okay, probably we need a better way. Because when during counseling, when I counsel my patients and the relatives, sometimes some of the patients complain of the other relationships which are bad, somebody who is not listening to them, somebody who is not understanding their perspective or their emotional or physical needs. And so I say, change them like water. You be constantly telling them what you need, what you feel, what you like, and what you desire, and what's your goal. Then probably like water, gradually, constantly, uh, in a cool way, in a soft way, and in a persistently, we can bring in a change, like how the rocks mold around the river. So that is how we need to be peaceful. We need to be as peaceful as still water, and we should be ready to be as turbulent as the what do you say, the fastest rivers, or the rocky or white waters, what we call. So that amount of flexibility we need to develop, and that is there we are harnessing our energies in a better way, using our energy in the right perspective at the right time. So that is what I call, I didn't want to say it as godly humans, because the concept of God is being abused by the what I call the brand owners, the brand company owners of different gods. So all religions are brand companies which are owning up some god and then capitalizing on them emotionally, physically, monetarily, and psychologically, and even region wise. So the what I want is a heaven on earth where everybody is enlightened, everybody understands what is the truth and speaks the truth and lives by the truth. So such sort of a, and is peaceful with the truth. Let us see, we can't uplift the most poorest man to the fullest extent of having all the knowledge of all the signs of universe. But let us be inclusive of that. Okay, what if Bill Gates doesn't understand the karma of life? Uh, what I have understood is truth is the only religion, nature is the only God, and law of nature is karma. So, in this perspective, he hasn't understood that his thoughts, his words, and his actions are creating bad karma for him, maybe for his generations. So, how do you make him understand that? So, probably take some examples. He's the founder of Apple. He had such a big empire, and but still he had to fight with his co-founders, his other board directors. He was thrown out of the company. Then he was taken back into the company, and now Apple is such a influencer to people. But at the same time, I foresee some fears in this company. I foresee a time when a high-end technology can create what do you say, bad waves, the electromagnetic radiation to cause diseases. So targetedly, if you keep right now the regular telecom radiation, it's 2G, 4G itself, the radiation can harm us. If you keep in the pocket, it might damage your heart. If you keep in your pants, it might damage your fertility. So such sort of a radiation damage is known to us. But maybe they can be with 5G and 6G, they can download and upload so much of data, and maybe if they have a technology in the phone, they can create some electromagnetic radiation which can definitely create a heart attack. So with that fear, how do we modify them? How do we see within the genetic war, the genetic Roman blue-eyed race is trying to exterminate the black-eyed African race. So, and the hybrids, we were originated from Gondwana, the peninsula which was attached to Africa, and then we came, and the Indian peninsula keeps pushing into the Asian plateau, and it is causing the mountains, Himalayan mountains. So we carry those genes. We are the hybrids, and the Roman immigration in the form of Aryans, in the form of has created another hybridization process, with many of us having the Roman genes with the blue, green, yellow eyes. So even Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai is a yellow-eyed person, and many of the officers, the bureaucrats, the politicians, even media people, the what I say, the Swamiji, the top end doctors, the top end judiciary, all are blue, green, yellow-eyed people, irrespective of the caste. Such genetic politics is happening. So in this genetic politics scenario, I mean, okay, they have created verticals. I'm creating horizontal stratification based on genes and hybridization. What am I contributing? Maybe I should create more awareness for the epigenetics of it, epigenetics of being peaceful, and I can't say that you should be peaceful with whatever happens around us, but until unless I am peaceful, I am without hypertension, I am without diabetes. So how do we do that? Okay, I should do what all efforts I can do, turn around all the stones, whatever I can do in a day, to create awareness, to prevent people from destroying their health, life, and also the politics or policy making. So creating awareness, and at the same time modifying my own perspectives to ensure that I am also peaceful, and I'm also healthy, and I'm also see, we can't say we'll be happy, but at least contented, because we have made all the efforts to change it. So with this perspective, we can be heavenly humans. Well, I I used to say we should be Vishwamanava, the global citizens, what Kuvempu, the great poet in Kannada was telling. But maybe heavenly humans is sort of the rhyming of H, and also there is something sinister in the rhyming of H also, but let us not bring it here. But at the same time, what I wanted was an inner modification within us so that we are better, and tolerance to the people who have done these wrongs, because a person who has created COVID and is planning for enterovirus 25. Imagine his plan is to release enterovirus and kill children with vomiting and diarrhea. I mean, how do we uh, mm, digest that? How do we feel that, okay, is it needed? Can we stop it? How do we ensure that these things can be modified? Maybe not with hatred, not with accusation, just telling him that probably it was a wrong upbringing by your grandmother who felt that Africans are a bad race, who felt that they need to be exterminated. So somewhere his conditioning from his childhood is wrong. Somewhere the team of people with whom he is working, they are not guiding him in the right way. So somewhere he is being taken for a ride by the mafia of the world. Somewhere there are other hidden agenda people who are playing behind him. So when we try to understand this perspective, when we realize this perspective, then we will be truthfully contented, and we'll be like able to confront them in all the things. Because the popular video, what everybody what we are seeing around by our interview, wherein he just walks out of the interview. He says that so in that interview, Bill Gates was confronted with the same questions of the genocide. So when he was asked, will you be, how can you sleep at night, doing all these things, he ran away from the interview. So this is something he has done a Modi there. So do we need such things to happen? Can't we modify him? Can't we prevent him from releasing the enterovirus? Because he's on depopulation. So how can we modify these people saying that, okay, what perspectives you have is a supremacy psychosis. You need to get treatment for it. You need to be aware of equality and equal rights and maybe mm, justice and basically the karma theory. So when I say that David Rockefeller, despite 10 heart transplants, he couldn't survive for long, then we need to say that even despite all the richnesses and all the technology, Steve Jobs couldn't survive because with his pancreatic cancer. So maybe such awareness, such truth of life in a harsh way, because as doctors, when it comes from our mouth, it has a lot of value. So this is the psychological game. We need to play it psychologically. We need to prevent a crime from occurring before it happens, rather than see. Now that we know that they are really planning to release enterovirus 25, so how can we brace up for it? So how do we increase the immunity power of people? Not with fear, not with some junk food, or not with so we need to increase the availability of, see, what I have been adding on, what is it?
Unfortunately, some technical problems, network problems there. We lost the connection with Dr. Prakash, BANU Prakash. Yes, we couldn't hear you, doctor. Please unmute.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
What was the last thing you heard?
For the last 2 or 3 minutes, we couldn't hear anything.
Okay, so see, how do we counter the what do you say, the plots of the mafia? See, something like the weather warfare. They created a drought in Somalia, Ethiopia, and Nigeria, and they are killing people with drought. And in South Asia and countries, now they are creating floods and untimely rainfall and destroying the fully grown crops before harvest. So I tell the farmer friends, and wherever farmers organizations are meeting, I go and tell them, saying that you grow more of vegetable trees or fruits and nut trees, something like drumstick and other trees. Because I recently attended Fidel Castro's no, sorry, Dr. Che Guevara's daughter's meeting. Doctor, she's a pediatrician. I think Adelaide or so she was telling the importance of drumstick. Even Fidel Castro took it from India and planted in Cuba because of the cyclones they were getting frequently. Katrina was a cyclone which was created by America using HARP technology. So the cyclones, they had to withstand and have food on the table. So drumstick was a good option. I had just thought of it and I was telling people, and when you're truthfully, intention is truthfully helping others, then you realize that the truth is 100% true. The importance of the truth you realize. When she said that, I felt so happy. How could I think of it? And somebody has used it decades earlier. So that is a reinforcement for my belief, for my thought and the concept. So that's how, when the intention is true, the intention is the epigenetics. See, the thought process is the epigenetics we need to think of. We need to, our intention should be good, and we need to ensure that others' intentions is good all around us. So what we need to say is, we need to create that epigenetics phenomena around us as a community, and that will create a heaven on earth. So despite these people's intentions of depopulation or intentions of the new slave world order, what we need to create is a world order of equality and world order of humanity. So that sort of a heavenly humanity we need to create. So I would request others' perspectives also with this. Thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you, Dr. BANU PRAKASH. A really thought-evoking process, discussions. In fact, this kind of discussions and commitments is needed from all those fellows who are doing this profession of healing. That is most important. All sorts of healing is needed. So it's a wonderful presentation. It's time for discussion. Those who would like to participate can raise your hand. And of course, the most interesting person you can meet now is Dr. Thambi Nagarjuna. Sir, please proceed. Yes, you can unmute now. Yeah.
Om Namah Shivaya. Good evening, Dr. Banu.
Good evening, sir.
As every time I am also believing Karma Yoga. But there is something, the past and present is there. Even when Krishna was worried about the Yadavas fight in between with the grass, the nature told Krishna, your role is over. Now you are powerless. You can't do anything. Like that, there is a day for even Bill Gates. He will become, because Michael Jackson want to live for 150 years. You see what is the fate. So the nature or the universe know how to handle everything systematically. The thing is, we are worried because of our ego. Otherwise, everything is nirgunavastha, intact. Everything is intact. But we are not hearing the nature's call, in fact. How it is tuned, when the karma, even whenever you want to hide something, how you are suffering, all these things are there. But there are certain things under our discretion. Like when people are doing wrong things, it is our fundamental duty to correct them. For today, an example, our medical bill has turned out in the assembly very plainly, prankly, in a stupid way. In that one, again, 99% of the people's demand, which is asked, is given, but 1% entry for WHO. That means disaster management bill as it is, they have enacted. That means at any stage, they can make emergency. So these kinds of things, even our people are not understanding properly. They are thinking, oh, why you worry? It is only a disaster. But this disaster, they can make any movement. Even the major thing, they understand only after this COVID. Still, 90% of the people are not aware. Daily, how many, still in India, there is not an AEFI protocol post-mortem. So how we can make the people aware of it? please.
Yes, sir. Definitely. What we need to create is a better system of creating awareness around people. And what I felt was we need to create more awareness among people who are influencers. We need to target it because I went on a fast for 2 months and I sat in the Freedom Park, the protest area designated in Bangalore. I met a lot of people who are protesting against other issues. I tried to link things. See, there are protesters for pension. There are protesters for PTCL Act. There are protesters for salary or permanent jobs. We need to create awareness saying that the Roman mafia, which is controlling every country through World Bank loans, and when they are giving the loans, they had a clause saying that you should decrease your government employee infrastructure by 50%. You should stop giving pension. You should give pension in a new scheme. You should stop giving pension to few. You should not employ permanent people. You should employ only contract basis. So such sort of policy tweeting is being happening from the World Bank, and that has been happening over many years. Imagine the correlation that when they wanted to kill the Africans in 1980s, when they converted the simian T cell lymphotrophic virus to a human T cell lymphotrophic to infect humans and released it in Africa, that was the same time when they started EVMs in India. Then when you look at it, they have started EVMs in all Asian countries and Africa and South American countries where Romans are not ruling, where the aborigines are African genetic base. So such sort of parallels we need to understand. So it's been the slavery of political slavery for Romans has happened from the EVMs. We probably had true independence for nearly only 40 years because the Catholics are partly something like B team of the same Roman mafia.
Yes.
The Jews are also the direct mafia. The Protestants are maybe C team of the same Roman mafia. The Muslims are D or E team of the same mafia, and the Hindus are maybe A3, A4, A5 lineage. So when you look at the genetic lineage and the thought process lineage, then we will understand these things. So now, but beyond all these psychosis, we need to understand the epigenetics of live and let live. The other concept, what I said, love and let love. So let us love these people to heal them. Let us love these people and pity for their ignorance and their what do I say, irrational behavior. They're definitely they are killers. Definitely they are murderers. But what I would say is we need to confiscate their property. We need to use it to give compensation to all others. We need to house them in what do you say, the refugee camps in each country. Maybe give them counseling for somebody who confesses and compensates. Maybe give them medicines like sodium valproate which controls their psychosis, or maybe give electric shock therapy like the therapy for severe mania and psychosis, or maybe do psychosurgery. So all these are perspectives in a calmer and peacer way than me getting frustrated and increasing my BP or sugar. So that is the awareness what I'm creating. That, I mean, if when I meet anybody, I tell them boldly, this is your karma. Come out of it. When I meet a person from BJP or Congress, I tell them you're taking proportionate karma of theirs. When I meet Janata Dal people, I tell them you are the dealers. You are the dalal bolta hu. So like that, if we are truthful to our core, if we are peaceful to the core of our understanding, peaceful to to our truths, then we will be healthy and happy, and then we can escalate to a level of love and let love. So love these people also, give them another opportunity with medicine, with psychotherapy, with counseling or medicine or electric shock therapy or even psychosurgery, and make them humans again. Then we will grow to the realm of heavenly humans. That is how we need to grow beyond. use epigenetics as a phenomena. So because definitely they have given us a timeline 2025 for enterovirus. Some are saying already it has come in. Probably that is just a seasonal change, or could be they have used the missile early before the schedule. So whatever it is, are we helping the people with diseases? Are we creating better health? What all we should do? What medicines? From allopathy side, I have been publishing, distributing it to all doctors about the antioxidants like magnesium, acetylcysteine, or even something like alpha lipoic acid and multivitamins, and even ecosprin and vitamin D, so that they come out of the repercussions of the injections or the new viruses. And I've been tweeting to the BWSSB, the water supply department, because I don't know if you guys have observed in your place, the water supply water is containing less chlorine now, because Dr. Susan advocates for nascent chlorine, the sodium hypochlorite. Probably that is what they were using to disinfect water, but the content seems to be very less nowadays. Are they trying to allow the virus to be transmitted in the water supply? So we need to be aware of it. We need to be suspicious of it, and then create awareness, and then ensure that they change their ways. So such sort of modifications and these things, when we do, then we can prevent things and create a positive health around the world. So that is what I think it would be a better strategy, sir.
Okay. Yes, Thambi sir, do you have anything more to ask or to convey?
No, regarding the medical bill, is he aware of the Kerala medical bill? That is what I am again want to ask.
Yes, Dr. BANU PRAKASH.
Sir, you had sent me the document. I had read about it, and even what Mansukh Mandaviya was proposing, I have read nearly most of it. Definitely, till the majoritarian democracy what we have, there will be people who will be brainwashed to sign these things and then be part of the mafia. So we need to create a parallel governance and parallel secure system of healthcare and finance support, and even emotional support, and even the security for food. So create a circle of friends who are farmers, who are communicators, who are media people, who are healers and doctors, and even caregivers, so that they understand the truthful perspectives and implement it in a decentralized way to create a change. Countering, see, there will always be upper hand. The mathematical principles of world is the bad people will have their own sinusoidal crest, and definitely they'll come down to the trough soon. So we good people our crest should match their crest, so that whatever they do gets negated. So the effect should be zero of all the. So maybe we need to synchronize with them, time with them, and create a change in the opposite direction, so that there is a balance maintained. That would be a better way.
And of course, we need some sort of neutralization, anecdotal effort from different parts of the medical system. And of course, homeopathy is the strongest medical system in that aspect. We can control almost all viral infections or the bacterial infections or medicine, because we are treating with artificial disease producing agents. That is what's needed. Then again, it was proved that we can neutralize a lot of heavy metal poisons. It's also true. So definitely in the coming days, homeopathy can play a more pivotal role in containing all these diseases, these problems, these health problems. Another thing is that the most important tool in this situation is the education. We must educate the common man. They are in delusion that they think somebody will bring more help to them. They will heal you. But in fact, what is happening? They are giving vaccines. Then what happened to them? Then unfortunately, those who initiated the vaccines or propagated for vaccines, the later phase, they said that we never claimed that this will prevent the COVID, but it will modify really food. But unfortunately, even not a single person from this highly qualified strata question that. No
No.
media person please question that.
See,
Now,
I have taken an initiative. Some of my friends are speaking out. See, we need to take 10 steps. They might follow us with one. See, now, why we should be cognizant of all different perspectives. There are news that the chloroplast of spinach can carry the mRNA of the COVID virus. So the vaccine virus, they are trying to give it to people through genetically modified spinach. So how do we counter that? We need to make people start organic farming on rooftop, growing your own vegetables, eating so that we don't get fooled by these such things. So that is one way. And definitely what we were fearing of 5G has already come in through the Wi-Fi devices into our own homes. The telecom 5G is released now, but the Wi-Fi 5G has started in 2020 only. How do we restrict that? Create awareness saying that they should switch it off. Maybe if very few modems have 4G option nowadays. So we can't switch off the 5G, but utilize it as minimally as possible and then switch it off at the night.
yes,
Or
okay.
when you're sleeping or when you're not using. And what is the homeopathy protocol for radiation-induced damage? So maybe you can create protocols and then distribute, because these are new realms of
Yes.
maybe very few people have experienced that. Maybe few people have noticed some benefit with few medicines. Discuss among yourself. Maybe share the protocol.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
and maybe I didn't get any protocol from you guys for routine. What you should do. Maybe individually you are creating for. I mean, that's an individualistic prescription. But some formulations which are generally helpful for, you can share to us also. Maybe I can include in my protocol. This is I included in one version of my Ayurvedic protocols also, but somehow the subsequent editions, it got lost. I'm very curious how it got lost now.
Okay, yes.
But maybe that we can spread to our network and also create awareness.
Yes,
And
doctor.
similarly,
Now the coming
for
days we can discuss
last
that.
one.
Yes.
Last
Yes.
one, for the 6G, what will you plan is one question. So maybe.
Yes. Now,
Thank
Dr.
you, sir.
Shaji Gudiyar, raise hand. Dr. Shaji Gudiyar, please proceed. Yeah. Dr. Shaji Gudiyar, please proceed.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Banu. Welcome again to our forum, and it was nice listening to you. You are talking about some new ideas and philosophies, and seemingly interesting and maybe quite new for many of the listeners. But in the coming 50 years, there are a lot of things going to change. The entire scientific perspective is going to change. You yourself said you are feeling some kind of discomfort when you talk about these things, because you yourself are not sure whether you are talking with the right thing or not. But these are the confusion, because the world is controlled and ruled and manipulated and educated by a certain group of people. They created certain level of truth for our understanding, which is a false truth, which is a fake truth, which is not the reality. So now we are facing, when we follow these kind of science, when we follow these kind of principles which they taught us is the right thing, we are failing. So they are telling allopathy is the scientific medicine and is the only scientific medicine. They blame every other system of medicine as unscientific. But their medicine is the only medicine constantly. After all the research studies they declared and they conducted and published and brought, even with the approval of some government agencies, are forced to withdraw. They themselves do both. And they are telling still what they do is scientific, all others are unscientific. So these are the confusions we live through because we studied are uncertain, inadequate, and incomplete, but they don't tell that. We need to observe it, we need to identify that, and it is our duty to find solution and rectification for this. So in this direction, I am contributing whatever I can. I am thinking in that direction. I may harmonize with you, we may harmonize each other, we have seen it. And I harmonize with you in your philosophy of thinking. So it is not odd. It is really interesting, and I think in the coming near future, all these things will become real and more acceptable, and ordinary people will be able to understand all these things. So when I speak about these things, many laughed at me. Now, even through the dynamic science, hypothesis of dynamic science, many are not interested, not listening, and not willing to listen, one side. Even when I speak about this vaccination, the COVID-19 vaccination, they just named something as vaccine which was never used in the history of medicine as vaccine. And majority, when they hear vaccine, they are not even checking, they are blindly following. They have created such a trust in them, and they are fooling, deceiving, and cheating the entire humanity. And they hold and control the entire humanity at their mercy. Now we are having a public health bill in Kerala, and nobody understands the intention why they are hurriedly bringing all these things. There is an underground work they are doing to bring out another international treaty. And now, I think other than COVID-19, the previous pandemic happened long back. Now they are even bringing a pandemic treaty. See, before the pandemics were declared based on death rate, and a new pandemic came with the test positivity as the reason to declare the pandemic. And the most recent, the monkeypox, no tests were done. WHO just decided after identifying few cases, monkeypox as a pandemic. Now there is a pandemic treaty whereby the WHO will declare a pandemic, and all the 194 member countries' constitution, they are getting authority through this treaty to suspend the constitution and take over rule of law by WHO, who are never elected by any citizens of any country in the world, but purely created, maintained, and controlled by multinational companies and giants who control the economy of the world and control the world.
Yes.
So these are the connectivity we need to make, which many of us are unable to make. We ourselves, we seek appointment with the Chief Minister of Kerala. We got it at the final moment. We thank him for that. And we suggested something in a hurry. He all approved it. We are thankful for that. But when we looked into the final outcome of the bill, we are forced to see that the intention of bringing this bill in a hurry was still there. The public health officer, who is decided as the final authority, is still remaining. And the protocol, still the government will decide, or the public health officer will decide. And who is the government at the time of pandemic? The WHO. And we requested to give support or permission to issue certificate. And still the certificate, we got the government allowed after listening to us to issue certificate, but only the treating doctor. So we perceived that we will be able to treat. But when a pandemic comes, WHO is the government and they implement their protocol, and we have the alternative aid systems has no role there. So the treating doctor will be allopathic doctors, and only they will be able to issue certificates. And even the public health officers were able to take custody of any suspected human beings in his own will, and will be able to implement his own protocol, and nobody can request for discharge from the place where he placed this person. So many
Okay.
things are there. So
Yes,
we
yes, Dr.
still,
Shaji Kurian, please conclude. Now, Dr. Thambi Nagaruna sir is also waiting. You have to finish.
yeah, I am
please.
concluding. So we are still in agony. So we thankful to the Chief
Okay.
Minister, and we still need to have a lot of uncertainties and problems
yes.
in front of us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Thambi sir, please. In
Yeah,
2 minutes. Yes.
I am seeking the homeo doctors to make a protocol for detoxification. So at least all the doctors can use it as a protocol from your end for standardization. As Banu suggested, so many patients are asking us, what is the detoxification process in homeo? So you make a protocol and spread it. Thank you.
Yes. Now, Dr. Sajini Matthew, Dr. Sajini, please unmute and you can ask, please.
Not only doctors, even patients, common man can take it over the counter, because that is the kind of awareness we need to create.
Exactly.
Yes, Dr. Yes. Dr. Sajini, please proceed.
Yes, Dr. Banu, my greetings. I am a very common person. I am a teacher. Like I have for the last 25 years or so, I have been under homeo treatment. The sad part is that, see, I believe in homeo totally. Okay, my whole family is under homeo treatment. But I have a request here, like, see, when the COVID pandemic was undergoing, it was not possible for my son to write his exam with homeo treatment. Okay, he was forced to take an injection, and I can say that he's an epileptic patient. In spite of my request, in spite of my constant request of not giving the vaccination, he was forced to take the vaccination. So is there any way in which we could make homeo certificates legalized so that I can produce it to people, where I could say that, my son has homeo treatments and he's fine. So, like, could you please give me an opinion about that?
See, there was a international organization called PROMIC. They released a version of what is it called? Exemption certificate. That was the first certificate which I digitally signed and circulated to all the people. It contained a clause saying that we don't believe, we are routinely following other alternative medicine forms of medicine, and we would like to stick with it, and we don't want to take the regular allopathic. So
please
that
type the link if it is possible, which you are telling. That link, please type.
I'll send it later because I have the photograph. I have to search.
No problem. Share to me. I will share.
The second version which came was from the Bombay group of Awaken India movement by the legal Indian Bar Association, IBA, with Nilesh Oja sir and his team, which created a legal document of exemption certificate in India, which also I digitally signed and circulated. So such sort of a boldness we need to show. And definitely, as a homeopathic doctor, anybody could have signed. You should have signed it. You should have given. You should have, see, when we take 10 bold steps, then people will appreciate the truth. People will. And regarding the treatment protocols, why no homeopathy doctor has at least tried to educate all other doctors and common man? Okay, if something is over the counter, we can buy, because now whatever medicines I have written for the sort of allopathic protocol of detoxification, all are vitamins and supplements which can be bought over the counter by a common man. You do something like that, so then people will understand the importance. Okay, it is helped me.
Yes, doctor. Excuse me, doctor. We have to wind up the session now. So on behalf of IFPH, I'm expressing sincere thanks, Dr. Banu Prakash, and once again request you to come regularly to our part of this platform to give some suggestions and your presentation. Thank you and all. With that remarks, let me conclude today's session. Hope you to meet the same day tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. And it's all Dr. Thanesh for continuation program in Malayalam. Thank you.
Thank you, Satyameva Jayate.
Thank you. Thank you.